Supernatural Eye, episode 2 of season 2. We're here to announce the famous, the haunted Hotel Redlands in Homestead, Florida. But before we get to that goods, we do have a special guest that will be doing the interview segment. So that's right, Mike Delcoro will be stepping in as an interviewee because this is the first pretty much episode that I met him on. So that's how we're going by chronological order. On top of that, Joe Turino will be as an interview as well with Mike Delcoro. We're not going to announce who the special guest is for our holiday special. It will be towards the end of this episode. However, I do want to announce another little mini guest and new family edition that we have. Right, we have another little special guest. Everybody, please welcome my new fur baby and member of War Party Paranormal, Mr. Salem Garcia. Hello, say hi, Shayla. He is my new addition, my new baby, my new fur baby. I did have a very sad loss of my other fur baby, Romeo, and definitely I just couldn't live a life without a dog, I meant to say. So this little guy has been keeping me alive and keeping the love alive for Romeo. And you know, the love for Romeo will never be replaced, but this is just another bond, another little family member. So the way I see it, it's Romeo's little brother. But yes, I love him so much, and he's been such a little great addition, and he'll be such a little great ghost hunter too. So I just want the world to meet Mr. Salem Garcia. So here he is, my little baby. He's a little camera shy, but he'll break in. So hi, Salem. He's tired. Mr. Salem here wants to show you his cool little collar. He's got this little plancha. I don't know if you can kind of see it up there. That says Salem on it. In the back it says, got lost looking for bitches, call my mommy with my number. I can't show the camera view because then everybody can see my number. But anyways, yeah, look at that. Look at that. And he's got little ghosties. Show me your ghosties. Show me your ghosties. So yeah, he's very excited. And we can't wait for what the future has to hold for Salem and I and our little ghost adventures. But we are here to announce Hotel Redlands. And before we get to that, we are going to discuss the history first. And then a little bit of the history. And then we are going to go ahead and discuss our captures, who I met on the team in this episode, which would be Mike Delcoro and Joe Turino. You will see them later on in the post-interview segment as interviewees, okay? And we will have a special guest, which... Should we announce it? No. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're going to announce it at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that and stay tuned for our awesome post-interview segment. It is going to be amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to see who the special guest for our holiday special is. Anyways, moving forward, so now we're going to discuss briefly the history of Hotel Redlands as we normally do on the show, and then we're going to further discuss the experience, who was on this investigation, and later we're going to discuss the interviewees, and later we'll announce the special guest. So stay tuned. Very haunted historic Hotel Redlands is known to be the oldest pretty much structure and building in Homestead, Florida. The property was built in 1904 by W.D. Horn or Horney. Yes, that's what his last name was, by the way. Back then, it was called the Homestead Inn. Functioned as a room and house supply store for railroad workers. Tongue twisted there. Then later served as a post office during its time. So this infamous hotel was rumored to have one of the most famous guests, which is Al Capone. That's right, Al Capone. And that was his secret hideout during like the Chicago Mafia days. For some reason, I'm always getting tied into Al Capone, whether if it's from Alcatraz and my trip to Chicago, and that was discussed in season 1. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, for some reason, when I went to this location, and I found out that Al Capone had stayed the night. That was actually a couple of nights, actually, and that was his secret hideout. I'm like, go figure, here we go again. But I thought that was a piece of history that was pretty neat. Also, tragedy struck the night of November 10th, 1913. A fire struck in the attic and began at the attic, actually, of the Hotel Redlands, and working its way, eventually burning the whole entire building, and which was very tragic because a lot of guests that were staying there that night died in their sleep. So, can you imagine just like, being at this peaceful state of mind, and then all of a sudden you're being woken up to this smoke, and then your burning sensation. So, um, yeah, so you can already imagine the tragedy and all that haunting that's brewing into that location as it is. 9 days later, after the fire, it was announced that a new hotel will be built in the same land, the same structure of the previous hotel, which is known as the hotel today, Hotel Redlands. Now, I believe some destruction happened in its time with Hurricane Andrew. Not that the building collapsed or anything crazy like that. They may have just had to do some minor restorations after, post hurricane. But I know Hurricane Andrew did some damage during its time to Hotel Redlands. During its time, one of the known murders that happened there, there's a woman that felt her death falling from the window of 201's room. So it's one of the haunted rooms, actually a couple haunted rooms of that location, but room 201 for sure. You'll feel the vibe in there, and that's where she's known to fall off the second floor window. There's a couple rumors of what caused her death. Whether if it was from the fire, people say that she was trying to crack the window open just because all the smoke that was coming in. So we don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't really think that was the case. Other rumors have circulated that she's been murdered and she was thrown out the window. Two different things, that she ratted some bootlegger, like some famous bootlegger at that time, and that her ex-lover threw her out the window. The other rumor was that the ex-lover found her cheating on a bootlegger, and he was pissed, obviously, killed the bootlegger, and then threw her out the window, I believe. So just a couple of things for you guys to think. Whichever the version is, their spirits are very present at the hotel. So in 2020, the hotel closed due to COVID and later reopened. Also, it took new ownership, so definitely a lot of things have changed around as far as like the restaurant and everything else. I had the pleasure of investigating the Hotel Redlands, and this was actually my second investigation with War Party, so second investigation. I was still on trial during this time, so I haven't officially joined the team. So they were, testing me out still, and that's what we do just to make sure that people are fit and knowledgeable, not just some ghost enthusiast that's trying to capture some, social media and, reels and whatnot that they do nowadays, and call themselves credible. But they do test you out and they take you on trial to see if you do fit and you're drama free and you're knowledgeable and you have a passion for this field. Anywho, getting sidetracked. I know that I had the pleasure of investigating this place in 2021. That was last year during September. And we'll get to that in a second. Also, fun fact, this is the location that, with War Party Paranormal, that I got sick. I felt like I was kind of not myself, but I definitely got sick during this investigation. And again, this is the only location that happened to me with War Party Paranormal. Not ever. I mean, this has happened to me in the past, but we'll discuss that later on, talk about personal experience. But yes, the spirits known to haunt this hotel are the spirits that passed away in the fire, and also the gentleman, the ex-lover, and the lady that fell off the second floor. We don't know the lady's name, but I believe the guy's name was Lonnie, from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm trying to call Lonnie a gentleman, but it was completely messed up that he tossed out, regardless of the situation. There's no need for any physical violence and abuse. So it was not right. I'm not trying to defend that case, that he was a gentleman. For some reason, it just came into mind. It's sad that we don't have, and it kind of tells you back in those days how females were portrayed, but we don't have any records or evidence, I don't think, of her name. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, for all you historians, help a girl out here. But I know definitely, I believe his name was Lonnie from our understanding. Moving forward, we're going to talk about my personal experience and evidence that's being captured. So again, we went during last year, 2021, in September, around that time. I think it was actually ironically September 11th. Yeah, what are the odds? But anyways, it was, again, the second investigation I investigated with War Party Paranormal. I was on trial on this investigation. Scotty returned back. Our girl Scotty, our queen, our mama bear, with her famous cookies, and we'll discuss that. We actually have a fun clip regarding her cookie captures. But anywho's, so yeah, Scotty returned back. Eric was there, and I finally met Joe Turino and Mike Delcoro, my interviewer, which would not be my interviewer today or this episode. But anyhow, so I had the pleasure of meeting finally Mike and Joe, and it was all of us for this investigation for War Party Paranormal. This place was very, very active, hands down, at least the night I went there to investigate, and we'll get to that here shortly. First, from what I recall, we're in the dining room area, like doing the presentation of what they give out to the guests, how you use the equipment and whatnot. And during that time, I remember like the door opening and closing and people witnessing this. Of course, at the time we didn't capture it on camera with, the presentation, but for some reason that was happening. The door just kept opening, closing. We'll get to a clip in a second regarding that. And yeah, and then I just remember I haven't met Joe and Mike yet. They're upstairs setting up. And I think doing some, lives and whatnot, but I haven't met them yet. We're just downstairs, Scotty and Eric at the time. And finally they came downstairs and I'm like, holy crap, I was intimidated because I've seen all these guys on social media, just like the same way I was intimidated meeting Scotty. I was just, I got a little nervous. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the real deal. So it was cool. And we all just clicked. They were just super chill and down to earth. So, and eventually they became a pair of fam. So, just very cool guys. And we just had such a great active investigation that night. So that was the cool thing about the dining room. And, I'm going to show you a fun clip of us trying to recreate the door opening. So here you go and check that out. We do have some testimony. Too bad we couldn't capture it on camera. But here you go and check it out and let me know what you guys think. If you jump around, does it
Can you open it up again?
Recreate it?
You pull it and then open it.
No, dude, I heard somebody open the door. When he said that, it clicked.
I heard that too.
No, I'm just kind of zoning out, And I heard the door shut, and I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, Tim walked up, shut the door or something. And then when he said it, I was like, oh.
You heard the click.
I heard the whole door open, clicking.
Yeah, I saw the door opening.
She saw it.
I saw it.
It's been doing it earlier too.
Yeah, they did it
It was
earlier.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, that wasn't the only time it
I was
happened.
standing facing almost sideways.
Can you open that door again?
I heard it click and push.
I didn't see the handle. I saw it when it was about halfway open.
see
Is
it.
when I noticed it.
But I heard it.
Can you do that again for us? Can you open that door? You're welcome to come in here with us.
Who came in here? Can you tell me your name?
Can we get some of the hotel staff over here, please?
How about a nice cold beer? That would be great. After he said something, and then after I said something.
That door just opened by itself. You saw it open up, and I saw it halfway.
Yeah.
I pushed it in,
It opened again.
and it closed.
Again, you guys already saw it open?
Yeah, so it opened. Over
That door opened by itself again.
On last. No.
It was clicked.
Well, it's clicked now, so we'll
It
see.
was clicked.
It was clicked last time too.
But this time, I know it's clicked.
I make sure
Then it's not hearsay.
I didn't spray you now. Scotty, did you find out your report?
Yes.
Did you get sprayed?
Yeah.
He's the only one.
You heard that? Listen.
Yeah.
Wait, listen. We'll go back. Hear that? Looks like a get out.
Yeah, we get a lot of get out slowly.
At least once.
Yeah, I don't know, is it me? You know?
We haven't gotten get the fuck out yet.
Well, I got one of those before too.
Yeah, that was with me.
I wasn't here before when they said get out?
No, that was before you guys came.
You see what I mean? It gotta be me. Okay, I'll wait.
No, it happened before you guys came.
Oh, it happened before, okay. Oh, that's dark. Yeah, I like it when it's dark.
Come on over.
That's pretty cool. You know, nothing was captured, but there were some testimonies there that we did witness this all together earlier throughout the night. Obviously, this is not in order because that was filmed towards like the end, but just to give you the gist of how we tried to recreate it, debunk it, and just again, I guess we couldn't capture it. So that's pretty significant, but it just, you know, it would have been better if we had that on video. That would have been like gold. Of course, these are the type of things you miss all the time. You're a paranormal investigator. It's like, why? Why isn't the camera rolling? But you can only do so much. Anywho, I'm going to try my hardest because we captured so much. Again, this was such an active night for us. And then I'll get later on to discussing when I got sick as well. But we captured so much as far as like EVPs, REM pods going off. We had a badass portal session, and then I'm gonna say the best for last, which is the Estes, and we'll get to that later on. But there's just so much going on, so I'll try to make this as fast as possible. So before we roll to the first clip, I'll do it by segments of my clips I've captured. So this was in room 201. This is the room where the infamous lady has fell to her death. With her ex-lover throwing her out. I believe it was due to a cheating scandal, but we'll get to that and why I feel that way due to some of the responses. But anyhow, so there's a lot of what's happened throughout investigations, a lot of REM pods going off. So I'm going to show you clips of this room with the REM pods going off. We did capture some EVPs, but they're very hard to make out, so I'm not going to really focus on that, but more of some REM pod action. So here we go. Let's roll some clips.
It's hiding.
I have a feeling it's in that corner. Yeah.
If it would be
Something's
in
pulling me.
It just said, yeah.
Oh, the Rampart just
Are you in that corner?
Rampart just went.
I'm coming over here, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Rampart just went in.
That's why I was sensing it was in the corner.
How come you won't talk to us? Is it easier to communicate that way, by touching the devices?
All right, pretty crazy, right? So that was pretty cool. Now, in the same room, I'm going to show you another clip. I definitely, as an empath, I do feel the energies and the presence of spirits in a room. To me, sometimes they can feel very thick. They can feel heavy. I could just sense that something's there. Not all the times when I say it's heavy, it's like demonic or evil. No, it's like a certain... Not that it's visual, it's just a sensation. It's like a certain thickness. I just can't describe it to the air. It's like an empath knows what I'm talking about. You guys can relate. Now, for some reason, I'm just very intuitive in that sense, and I'm very good at picking up spirits by sensation and feelings. But I was in the room. I always felt like intrigued, and not just because I knew that that's where the lady has fell to her death on that window area, but just that corner in general. I just felt like it was very like, you know, that this whole time the spirits was there. Maybe the lady was there. I don't know. But anyways, let's show this cool clip of me stating that and the REM pod going off. So let's show that real quick.
So we're going to do an EVP session, or I'll ask a question on the recorder. Let's see what we got. We can all take turns. Hello, my name is Eric. I've been here before. Do you remember me? That device right there with the red light, if you talk into it, it can hear you. I got my friends here with me. Is that okay? Can you tell me your name? This one was good.
Yeah, something came up. Heard it.
What the heck? There's like a male's voice there at the
Yeah,
end.
it's a man. He said
I
something.
was the only male in here.
Yeah.
No, he said his name. But I heard him.
At the very end.
Yes, that's okay.
Right there at the end.
Right there.
Let me get it on the video.
I heard him. I heard him before you heard the tape. I heard him.
I think, was there a yes on right there?
Hello, my name is Eric. I've been here before. Do you remember me?
Guys okay?
That device right there with the red light, if you talk into it, it can hear you. I have my friends here with me. Is that okay?
And if the photo, I mean, there's a rim and a melon here if it goes on.
Okay, let's try the other one.
Hello, my name is Eric. I've been here before. Do you remember me? That device right there with the red light, if you talk into it, it can hear you. I have my friends here with me. Is that okay? Can you tell me your name?
I got an idea. I do. Okay, so we're gonna all introduce ourselves here, and you tell me which person you like. So my name is Eric.
My name is Francesca.
Hello, my name is Jessica.
Hi, I'm a realist.
I'm Ellie.
I'm Nadja.
Maria.
Can you say someone's name? Can you say your name? So, with these recorders, how I can tell it's picking something up, because it works on voice activation. So when I ask a question and I do a long pause, and if it doesn't pick anything up to the next question, when I play it back, you won't hear the pause. It'll just picks up what it hears. It'll go to the next question immediately. So when you see the red light flashing, if it's flashing steady, I'm not getting anything. But if it's jumping around all over the place, that means I'm picking something up.
Okay, so we're going to all introduce ourselves here, and you tell me which person you like. So my name is Eric. Hello, my name is Jessica. Hi, I'm Really. Okay. I'm Nadja. Maria. Can you say someone's name? Can you say your name?
No? Can't make it out.
It said something.
Yeah.
It definitely said something.
Can you ask?
Okay, so we're going to all introduce ourselves here, and you tell me which person you like. So my name is Eric. Can you say someone's name? Can you say your name?
Anyone want to ask a question?
I was just gonna ask if like there's like a way to like ask to get closer to it so we could make. I don't know. Let's say that it was to talk closer to it, you would hear more. Like better?
Yeah, like sometimes we'll get some like a scream, And I don't think it's necessarily anything bad. I just think that maybe they're trying too hard and they're talking too loud. Like some people might get alarmed by that. But sometimes it takes a while. Like they have to get like more, just like a normal person, right? They gotta get more.
Oh, look.
Can you make another one go off like that? There's 2 here.
You want to hang? We can hang.
Walk by here again. And walk back away. It's weird because like when you walk by, like those 2 went off at the same time.
Yeah, but while she was there, it was still going on. And it's still going on.
Can you make 3 of those go to orange, like all 3 at the same time? Or 4 of them? Can you make one go to red?
Oh, that's a strong orange.
So let's ask. Anyone want to ask a question?
Before, I was gonna ask, you said to make it go red. Basically, how, as like a spirit, how are they supposed to do that? Like they get close to it and like.
Get close to it.
So should we like tell them, like play the game, like
Yeah.
explain to them? How do we explain it, like to get closer?
Yep.
Yeah, like I'll do it. Okay, so we have some devices here. If you get close to them, they'll light up. And it looks like, oh, you made that one go to red. Can you make all of them go to red? Can you close the door? I'm probably going to get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some devices here. If you get close to them, they'll light up. And it looks like, oh, you made that one go to red. Can you make all of them go to red?
That was me.
Oh.
Sounded cool though, right?
Yes, cool. That was cool. Okay,
So we
Julie.
have some devices here. If you get close to them, they'll light up. And it looks like, oh, you made that one go to red. Can you make all of them go to red?
That's
That's
me.
you.
I wish it wasn't though.
Yeah, pretty cool. So just a couple of run pod actions going on, but let's move on to the next scene. So here's another really cool clip and EVP session that we had in the next door room, which is room 202, I believe. It's like a connected room right next to room 201, and this is the room that Scotty stayed the night at. That's where we had the cookies and everything set up there. And Scotty's always offering the cookies to the spirits. But anywho, we're all setting up, just getting ready to roll and do our EVP session, and we captured some really cool EVPs, so I want you guys to listen to that. Go ahead and check it out.
Go ahead, sit on the bed, make yourself comfortable.
Eat a cookie.
Grab a chair, eat a cookie.
I'm having.
Joe, did you meet Franny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right downstairs.
You guys are like IG friends.
Here, let me. give you-
IG friends, yeah.
Now,
I
Trina
don't
friends.
do IG.
That's official. Yeah.
You try. You try.
You know, Mama taught me right.
No, thank you, though. Yeah.
I do my best.
It sits there with Joe Turino.
That's right. That's what's up.
I'll wait for Eric to get his
No,
shit
just
together.
go.
Okay. All right.
Patiently
Does it
waiting.
look good?
How many spirits are in this hotel?
You have yours on 2 or 3 sensitivity. What'd that say?
There's something in the beginning too.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
Does he 17?
I want to say it says fuck her.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Hey, whenever you're ready. Got a lot of action.
What did you ask, Eric?
I didn't ask any questions.
Oh, I thought you asked me what I had it set on.
Oh yeah, what sensitivity?
I have it on 2.
Okay.
At least they answered.
Yeah, right.
They answered you really well.
Spirits are in this hotel.
What was that?
That was him.
I mean, yeah.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
What?
How many spirits are in this hotel?
It's like it says 500. Listen.
Yeah, so.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
Yeah.
500.
Yeah.
Clear. Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot.
Oh my god.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
It's a joker.
500, right?
It was
That's
so
a
clear.
lot.
Yeah.
He's full of
Very
shit.
clear.
Hey,
You're full of shit, Spirit.
at least he talked to us.
Let's try
The other one
squares
was
off.
rude.
Listen,
How many spirits are in this hotel?
505.
That's what it sounded like,
Yeah.
right? 500 and
Okay.
Do it again. One more time.
500.
How many spirits are in this hotel?
Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Of course, shortly after, I think we took like a little miniature, like, I don't know, intermission before we get to the big and heavy stuff. And during this time, I must confess, I remember Scotty was like, everybody have cookies, whatever. I'm like, hell yeah, you're going to tell me twice. So I went ahead and digged in and grabbed like whatever cookie I was eating at the time. It was just so bizarre. Like right when I was like biting out of the cookie or putting it in my mouth, I was sitting on the bed. Everybody else, like Joe was sitting down on that couch. I think with Scotty, like everybody was like in the same positions, kind of like what you saw in that video. And then shortly enough, I started to feel like nauseous. Like I started to feel like I'm gonna puke this cookie out of me. Like if it wasn't meant to digest or something. It was really weird. And I'm like, no, don't get sick, don't get sick. And then all of a sudden I just see like everything closing in, and just not feeling myself in a way. Not saying that I'm like getting possessed or anything, like nothing demonic or anything crazy, but in a way, like I just felt like my life was getting sucked out of me, and it was the strangest feeling. But anywho, I was starting to black out, and I was very nervous at the time because of course I was on trial, I wasn't on the team yet, and I'm here investigating with these experts and just very notorious in the paranormal world, and I just did not want to look like a newbie, or I didn't want to look like this amateur that's starting off. Obviously I was trying to impress and do good to make it on the team, so I didn't want anybody to see me at the time. So I acted like I had to go to the bathroom. I don't know how in the midst of all this happening, like I was trying to show like I was functioning. I don't think to them they suspected anything. Or I don't know if I looked pale, but I definitely was like blacking out and nauseous, like if I was gonna puke, just something crazy. So I excused myself, and in the midst of me like walking up and going down the stairs was the most challenging thing I had to experience in the time of me feeling this way. Like I was literally in the verge of passing out, like fainting and just puking my brains out or something crazy. Like I was getting sick, and I felt like something was manipulating me or something was trying to get me sick. Anywho, it was just really bizarre. And in the midst of all that, I was walking down the stairs trying not to fall. The only person I felt like noticed me that I looked off, I believe it was one of the bartenders or managers. Like he was at the bar, and I just remember he made eye contact. Like him and I, we made eye contact, and I was like rushing to go to the women's bathroom because it was like on the first floor. So I don't know how I made it down the stairs again, and I just booked it to the bathroom. And in the midst of the bathroom, I was like, at the toilet stall, like just trying to puke my brains out, like just like trying to let it all out, like and nothing would have come out. Like nothing was coming out. I was not feeling good. I don't know what I was thinking, but then I felt like, let me pee. It's gonna sound really weird. So when I peed, I felt fine. Like it just all went away. Like I had a little bit of a headache, but it all went away right after I pissed. So not did I had a puke when I felt like I had a puke. I was so nauseous I couldn't even explain this feeling to you, but definitely I just peed and it went away. It was the strangest thing that I've ever experienced. I had something similar like this happen to me at a residential case before I was on the team, or like I was, at my hometown in Naples, where I currently reside, and it was one of my friend's house. I did a residential case, and I think that was more scary. Like it was something similar that I felt like I was getting sick and I had to step away from the property, even though I didn't step away from the property. I just peed. But anywho, it was something so bizarre. Surely enough, afterwards, I did take a step outside, but I remember Eric was looking for me like, hey, this girl's been gone for a while. And then I kind of told him what happened to me, which was super embarrassing. Later on, I remember I shared it to everybody else, and Joe was like, what? No way. That's crazy. I was feeling sick too, like in that same room. And I'm like, what? I don't remember if he said it was in the same room. I'm pretty sure he did say it was in the same room, but he said that earlier he felt kind of nauseous doing a FaceTime as well when they were setting up. But when we were doing that session, obviously he wasn't feeling like he was going to black out, but he did feel like he was getting sick or something, like something similar to what I was feeling. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad I pulled that off somehow, but I was really nervous that I was just going to like pull the exorcist and puke on everybody during this investigation while I was on trial, but thank God I made it through somehow. What's crazy about that was like the first time I've ever gotten sick on any investigation with World Party Paranormal. Like we've been to some crazy places. We've been to Aerojet, which is like known for satanic worship, and you would think something like that would have happened there, but no. So it's really rare for something like that to happen, but I am very sensitive and picking up emotion and feeling, so I just get affected easily that way, I guess, as a sensitive. And in that department, I'm not psychic. But anyways, moving forward, I thought I had to share that pretty interesting little fun fact there of what I personally experienced. Moving forward, we're going to discuss more what happened to the dining room. Again, these videos and clips I'm showing you, they're not in order because it's all kind of scattered from an event that War Party did at the time. But I just want to save the best for last, the best clips that we captured. If you think these are great, then hold off. Trust me. But I do want to save the best for last. So I want to go moving forward to the dining room clips. That's where we're at earlier, trying to capture the door opening. By the way, this little thing that's flying around just is not orbs. It's dust or a bug. I think that's just kind of circulating around, just so you guys know. Orbs are not real the majority of the times. Anywho, so we caught this really cool EVP session. Actually, no, before I show that clip, I do want to mention that downstairs, my Ovilus captured this really cool capture. Show this photo real quick here to the side. I have this badass coffin ring that I'm obsessed with, and I wear it to every investigation. And my Ovilus captured the word coffin. So I thought that was really cool. It definitely made my night. minus the like the almost puking and getting sick part, but this definitely made my night. I think out of all the captures, it was so significant, and just due to its environment and settings, it's such a significant capture. So I definitely wanted to share that. But let's go ahead and discuss what EVP capture that we had at the dining room area. So check that out. We'll show this clip.
Do it. Ready, set, go. Do you want us to leave?
Was that you that opened the door?
Can you bring Mike a glass of water?
What do you think about the new owners?
Can you throw the 25 again?
Nothing?
No, that was the thing that fell. What?
Yes.
No.
I heard no.
Yes.
Play that again? I heard no.
Yes, he said no.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You heard that?
Yes.
Was that me?
Clearly.
Remember I coughed?
Who coughed? I didn't cough.
He coughed.
But how come we
Mike coughed.
Yeah, you-
That's why I said, can you bring Mike a glass of water?
Oh.
Is it me coughing?
Was that after or before?
That's after you asked that.
Yeah.
That was after I asked that
Try
question.
again, try
Okay,
again.
play it one more time. That's your cough.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's a no. How do you feel about the
Yeah, definitely, yes.
That was a very clear no.
But you're the one.
So no, he's not bringing water.
Pretty cool. Another cool capture that we had in the same room, of course, so we didn't get the door opening, but we're trying so hard. Was there was a guest, and she actually created her own paranormal team. Her name is Nadia. She is this psychic witch, and she's awesome. She has this best little cleansing sprays and just smells magnificent. I think her team is called Coven Paranormal. It's amazing. Go ahead and check them out if you haven't already. They're amazing. They've been to our events, and then we inspired them to create their own team. So give a big shout out to them. But anyways, Nadia, she is the team leader of that team, and she was at our events, and we had a little REM pod session that pretty much the spirit admired what she was saying and was interacting with what she was saying. So let's go ahead and check this out, and you'll see these intelligent interactions with this millimeter, the REM pod settings on it. So go ahead and check it out.
Good. You really are so good at doing this. And then when you throw in another person that's doing tarot or doing whatever, it takes away from what you're doing to that attention to the other person. It did it for me, is what I'm saying. So
It's
I
agreeing
prefer-
with you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. I prefer that you guys do this alone. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Because when you're there doing that, your energies I'm very heavy into the energy.
Good.
And yes, and when the energies
That has
are
a
all in the right place,
On camera.
when all of the energies are in the right place, things function properly.
Keep
When
talking.
the energies, yes, when the energies are not in the right place, you will not get the results that you're looking for. And as for that cemetery that you were in,
If she's
That's
correct,
okay.
can you make it go to orange or red?
Just hit orange.
I am correct. He knows
No,
I'm
no,
correct.
I want to see what it does.
It just did.
It just did.
What?
And twice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with energy for way too many years, more years than all of you have been alive.
You'd be surprised, he's got a baby face.
No, he's not 72.
No.
Okay.
I'm
then.
really old.
So I'm just saying, you know, you're all welcome to, you know, to
Wait, light,
to my
look.
class, and you can all be my guests. And
Okay.
you know, if
Thank
nothing
you.
else, you come away with a different concept of protection or cleansing. Okay.
Let me know.
And I'll let you know. I'll put it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
My Instagram is Dream Pieces Outrageous Work.
I think
And
you
it's
follow
mostly
her.
Jewelry.
She's supernatural eye.
Yeah, I believe I follow you.
Okay, cool.
So, so anyway, do look, and it'll be on the Instagram. I'm probably gonna do it before Halloween.
Okay.
So, good luck with everything. Sending you lots of love and light and blessings.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get back.
Bye, Scotty.
Heal.
I'll get back to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
EMF.
Right. Give us more energy.
That shit she sprayed on you?
What the heck?
The shit she sprayed on you?
I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Pretty neat. Now, another intelligent interaction was with Eric downstairs and the rest of the team, Scotty and Mike and just everybody else. You can see us all there. I had the camera angled. And again, it's the same device, the millimeter going off with the REM pod. And obviously, it was no need of change of batteries. It wasn't going off the whole entire night. So go ahead and check.
Do you like energy?
This is it?
Make that thing go off if you like energy.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, I'm gonna grab my. Hey!
What the heck?
Do you want to communicate with us through my new portal I built? Awesome, let's go get it.
No, but it goes off when we ask it a question.
You know what? I want to get my little camera.
Get it? And I'm gonna go get my portal. And we'll go.
All right, what's going on in here?
We're doing.
Do you like Scotty's energy?
No, that's pretty much fucker.
This is awesome.
What's the highest color that you can make it go? Okay. Can you make it higher than that? Can you go blue?
Come on, push harder. That's all you got?
That's it.
Are you getting tired already? Do you need more energy? That's why you're setting it off.
Use that fan.
Use my energy. Take my energy, use it.
You just pass it out. Right?
There's like all kinds of devices in here with batteries.
No, but that's the REM part.
No, but like sucking the energy out.
Oh.
Setting me with energy. I'm like, got all kinds of energy.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Come on, make it a different color. I want to see red.
We're getting red.
Yeah, pretty neat, huh? So, very cool. That room is super active, that downstairs dining room area. But anyways, let's move to the next video clip. So the next clip was pretty much the portal session in room 201. So we're heading back to the room where the lady fell to her death. This session is so cool. So we had like a little spirit box portal session, and I'm going to show you, I know this clip is pretty big, so I'm going to try to cut it out for you in the most, captured, or if it was a REM pod being captured, or like a word being said at the same time. It's going to be shown here. So let me show you the clip. Let's run it. Let's go.
Investigating, and we heard your story, and we know why you're here now. So Lonnie, did you push your wife out the window? You can tell us, you're not going to get in trouble. We just want to know. We want to communicate with you. Was it that window right there? It was.
Lonnie threw the lady out the window?
Yeah, Lonnie threw his wife out the window, supposedly.
Why'd you throw your wife out the window?
Thank you. Can you make it a different color? Can you make it yellow? Go ahead, let go of that. Stop. Why? I want to see if it's really you doing it, that's why. Can you make it stop? That's pretty loud.
Why is that reading EMF? That hardly ever picks up EMF.
And there's nothing here that would set that off like that. That's wild. Still going.
Yeah.
Can you try to reset it and touch the antenna real quick?
Are you in the closet? Are you hiding there?
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Speaking of cookies.
The cookies are in the other room. If you want cookies, go over and get them.
Get them?
What's your favorite cookie?
Come on, don't get shy now.
Oatmeal or chocolate chip?
I got both.
In fact, I'm gonna go get one. You want me to get one for you?
Okay.
Yeah, I heard okay.
Well, what do you want? Which one? Which cookie? Better let me know. I might bring you something you don't like.
Mommy?
Chocolate.
Or chocolate?
I want chocolate. Chocolate.
Now my next question is, how do you propose to eat it?
I'll eat
I
it for
bought you
you.
oatmeal, so I don't care.
Wrong one.
I want chocolate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, tough. I'm not going back.
I asked him how he was going to eat it.
Laugh.
Laughed again.
Can you eat on the other side?
So like what you see. I can't eat over there. I don't want to go.
Are you dead?
Will you kill him with fire?
I heard mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
That hurt mm-hmm.
I got that.
Scotty, her cookie actions. I would say cookie action. Again, Scotty's our queen. She's our mama bear, so she's always supplying the goods and the needs as far as brownies, cookies, snacks, you name it, sandwiches, sometimes sandwiches. You never know. Our mama bear hooks us up, and we got to make sure we have fuel because we're running these investigations late at night, so we got to make sure we're fed pretty good. And we are, trust me. So good that even the spirits love Scotty's cookies, so definitely gotta request those cookies. I'm gonna show you another clip here at the portal session that we did in room 201 of my ovulus pretty much saying like, turn this off. The next step we're gonna do is the Estes. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like you say, look, I had enough. Turn all your crap off, all your gear off. So let's show you this clip real quick. Yeah, pretty neat. Yeah, room 201 and the other room that got sick at, room 202, some freaking very active rooms. Now, I'm going to save the best for last. This is before Mike pulled out the Delcos. Actually, you'll see in Supernatural Eye in this season when those were created by Mike. But obviously, we have done our famous Estes sessions as well. And our Estes sessions are so good. If you don't believe me, then let me show you this cool clip. Actually, I had my video on this. I can't find it. But at least Mike, we all had backup. You know, Eric was recording. I was recording, even though I can't freaking find my video on this, and Mike was recording. Obviously, Mike's film was probably the best, not hating on Eric, but just the angle that he was at. We use Joe as our sacrificial lamb. Of course, Joe is kind of like the Aaron of Ghost Adventures, is always our sacrificial lamb. So, and also he would be the best sacrificial lamb because he's very sensitive. And just can tune in so easily with the other side. So he just would be the perfect candidate for that. So let's roll this clip. This actually came from Mike's YouTube channel video. Go ahead and check him out. Florida Paranormal, what is that? Florida, I can't even talk. Florida Paranormal Researcher. Go ahead and check my Delcoro's YouTube out. This video, full video clip is on there. But let's go ahead and roll it. It is a long clip, so put your seatbelts on and let's show this magic. Roll.
You want to talk to me?
Get out.
We're not going to get out right now because we want to talk to you. We're not going to leave just yet. We have questions.
Relax.
I couldn't understand what he said.
Used.
Used? You feel used?
Joe.
Okay, so there was another thing that I talked to Joe about before we came here. He's been having some experiences at home and some stuff possibly following him or acting at his house. And he wanted me to ask why we were doing this, a couple questions about that, to see if the person that we're talking to right now are they with Joe? Did they come with Joe from his home?
What?
Is there anybody?
Get out.
Is there anybody here
Let's go.
that's following Joe? Has nothing to do with this location? Are you here to help him? Okay, so maybe nothing is here that came with him. Maybe whatever he has going on is at his house because we didn't get any response. I'm gonna give you one more chance to let us know, or to let Joe know.
Joe is no.
Joe is what? How many people are here with us other than us here that we can't see?
Like, you guys pulled through that. So I know it was a long clip, but it was totally worth it. And those were our captures at the famous, very active Hotel Redlands. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the show. And before we announce the special guest for our post-interview segment, definitely go ahead and, if you haven't already, check out the War Party Paranormal Show on KGRA Radio. Eric and Mike do a fantastic job hosting this show for our team and representing our team as hosts and co-hosts. They're just brilliant and amazing in our captures. Also, what you see on here is also on there, and they're just amazing. Definitely amazing. So go ahead and check us out every Monday at 9 p.m. Sometimes I'm on the show. Sometimes our other members are on the show, but they kill it. So definitely go ahead and check out War Party Paranormal. It's pretty badass. And also stay tuned for episode 3, because episode 3, we're going to bring another 2 members of our team. And I'll go further into episode 3. We'll announce the release date further on. But let's just say episode 3 is one of my favorite investigations, or locations I meant to say I've investigated with War Party Paranormal. Probably my favorite. Well, no, it's one of them. It's up there, but definitely it's just an all-time favorite. So if you guys already know what it is, I'm sure some of you guys already know what it is. But if not, stay tuned, because episode 3 is definitely going to be fire. So check that out as well. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, stay tuned. The upcoming episodes for season 2 of Supernatural Eye is going to be so lit. So I really can't wait for what this season has in store for you guys. So thank you again for tuning in. Now we're going to move this over to the post-interview segment. I know you guys have been waiting for this moment for the longest time and probably want me to shut up and wrap this up. But anyways, definitely before I announce who our special guest is, just to let you guys know, Mike and Joe have no idea who's interviewing them. So this is all a surprise. You will capture the reactions here shortly. So yeah, we're going to be announcing this shortly. We're going to do a quick little shout out clip of who the special guest is. So I'm not going to say the name. I want to do like a special honors video. So we're going to move that on here now. Thank you guys again for watching Supernatural Eye. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year's, and celebrate it with your loved ones. And I can't wait to see you guys next year for episode 3. Have a good night, guys. Merry Christmas. Mwah. Bye. Salem, where you at? Bye, Salem. Here, moving this way. Bye. Merry Christmas. Yeah, you say Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. We're going to move it to the post-interview segment. Bye, guys.
And I'm with Wicked Cat Clothing, and I'm super excited to be interviewing Mike and Joe today.
What's up, Steph?
What's up, Stephanie? How we doing?
Hey,
good to see you.
Good to see you again. But we're not investigating today.
That's right.
Couple days.
This was a neat surprise. So
yes,
we didn't know who was going to be interviewing us for this episode.
Great.
So she was like, all right, it's a surprise. Just start recording, and she's gonna pop, and whoever's gonna pop in, and we're like, all right, cool. So very neat surprise. Good to see you, and let's do it.
Sure, I feel like a celebrity. All right, so how did you guys meet Franny? Mike, you want to go first? Let us know better.
Yeah. So we're investigating Hotel Redlands, and she was there with us with Eric, and I think it was actually like when Joe and I were doing an Estes method upstairs in one of the haunted rooms, and she was there, and then we also just were BSing outside and everything, and she seemed really cool, really nice. We get a lot of different people come out to the investigations and things like that, and sometimes you get people that aren't so friendly or different or whatever. She seemed really cool, down to earth, and it seemed really, really cool.
Awesome. And Joe, did you meet her at the same time?
I met her the same night. We had just gotten to Hotel Redlands. We were doing an event there that night, and I remember Mike and I went upstairs to go set up in one of the rooms some equipment before we head downstairs to go meet up with everybody, and then we got introduced to Franny, and then, like you said, we went outside. We were talking for a while, and she seemed, really, really cool and easy to talk to, and seemed to know what she was talking about. And so, we were really excited to, just have another like-minded person to come in and work with, basically. And
Exactly.
it was really cool.
I'd be there too if I wasn't on the other side of the states. But
hopefully soon. Hopefully soon we'll make it happen.
She's super cool. I've only met her virtually as well, so she seems really fun to hang out with.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm curious, what kind of equipment did you start out with when you were investigating, and has that changed? Did you have maybe lower quality, for lack of a better word, and now you have more advanced equipment?
The way that I would explain it, right, is I mean, you always, I think everybody kind of starts off with the recorder and maybe like a K meter, and then it's very addicting. It's just like anything else. Like, and then you start seeing all these other bells and whistles, and you start buying different things. But yeah, I started off with just like a recorder and a K2 meter back in the day, way before I met everybody here. And then, once I started investigating a lot more, and it was just like, oh yeah, I need this and I want this. And now we got the big rolling toolbox full of all the gadgets,
Full of everything.
That's awesome, man.
Joe?
Yeah. I could say my first piece of equipment is actually what kind of got me onto having a conversation with Eric first and foremost, and then later joining the team, which was an Olympus WS400 recorder. It's a little white Olympus recorder. But I had that. Oh yeah, it's a little tiny recorder. But I had that. God, I got that in like 2004 when I first started investigating, and on my own, and then I've had that for years. So I show up to an event with this little recorder, and he's like, "Oh man, that's awesome! Like I had that recorder. Like it's really cool." And we started talking like that. But then after that, I was like, "Cool, I want that recorder now." And then
Like candy.
It
yeah,
is.
we went to I think I had just joined War Party. I didn't have anything except for my recorder, and then they told me about the uh, Sony ST25. So I ended up buying that, and then I was like, I want a EMF meter, and I was like, I might as well get something that's all in one. So I got my Mel meter, and then it just like I said, it just grew from there. I mean, I have a huge toolbox here. Mike builds a lot of equipment. I'm starting to build
Wow.
equipment.
You gotta sell that then.
Yeah, we're
a lot of work, but yeah,
it's a lot of work.
it's fun,
Yeah.
So
But
Joe,
excuse me.
you started in 2004,
on my own, yeah.
on your own.
Yeah, I didn't start with War Party until 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, the pandemic brought us together.
Okay. Good and bad things.
Yeah.
And then Mike, when did you start?
Phew, about I would say about 8 years ago, probably. I would just dabble in it. I was always fascinated by all things paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, hauntings, and all that, everything weird.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. And then I had a friend that's wife's friend, was reporting one night when we were all hanging out that she thought her apartment was haunted. And I was like, what? All right, cool. We're going to go over there. So we ended up, make a long story short, she went out of town and we went over there, investigated her apartment, and we caught some wild stuff. And then ever since that, I was hooked, and I was investigating on my own here and there. But not until I really joined War Party was I investigating on like a weekly basis like we are now.
That's awesome. I've always loved it too. And all I
Excuse
wear
me.
is black clothing. I'm in it 24/7.
Oh yeah.
What is both of your most haunted residential experience? So don't like name a house or anything, but can you each think of something, a residential house you've been to that was really creepy?
So I'm gonna stay my first investigation that I ever did, and it wasn't even like a full blown real residential, but it was kind of, it wasn't like we're as professional as we are now, where we go in and we help people, and this was like I was exploring somebody's home, but this was a residential case basically. And when I first walked into the home and nobody was home, I heard water running, and I walked over to the bathroom and the door was shut, and I opened the door and the owner's out of town, and we had the only key. And all her like women like products and lotion and sprays and things were all like pushed into the sink, and both faucets were on, the hot and the cold, and everything was in the sink in the bathroom, and the door was shut. And that just blew my mind. We heard a disembodied voice. I mean, we got so much stuff, and we were only there for a couple hours. It's still today the most mind-blowing experience that I've ever had.
And I destroyed all her products, so I'd be upset.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Um, you know, we really, as far as like professionally with War Party, I mean, we really don't talk about our residential cases like that. We try to keep everything confidential.
Mhm.
So I would kind of have to go the same route. But my own homes. I have pretty much lived in a haunted house since I was a little kid. I've been having experiences since I was, um, I want to say between 5 and 8. I can't pinpoint. It's been such a long time. But anything from full body apparitions, objects moving, footsteps, disembodied voices, things like that have occurred in damn near every house I've ever lived in.
Even my
Um,
girlfriend had an experience at your mom's house, right?
right. She was staying over one night and she was sleeping on the couch and made the joke of be careful with the ghost tonight. And sure as hell, she the next morning she wakes up, or we walk out into the room and her eyes are like this big, and we're like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "I was like felt up like on the couch like all night." So we've had pretty intense um stuff going forward, like since I was a kid.
And my girlfriend is a
Through all
complete
the houses.
skeptic,
Yeah.
and she
I was
doesn't
just gonna ask if
she
she was
doesn't
in.
investigate. She's a skeptic. She's not really into it. And I've actually never heard her ever report anything else other than that one time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And his girlfriend is my wife's best friend.
Oh,
So they, we had gone to the beach and they stayed over that night. So, and it was the same thing with my wife. I was always, hey, my house is haunted. Like I've always had this stuff going on. And she's just like, yeah, okay. Like, uh-huh. And then she's experienced a few things that's like, okay, maybe he's not full of crap. And then especially now with, me being with War Party and everything that I do and the work I'm doing with like the psychic stuff, like the mediumship
yeah.
and her, me telling her what I'm practicing and she's like, all right, let's try it. And then it like manifesting, excuse me, it's definitely changed her mind a little bit.
Yeah,
So
I don't see anything ever. I just feel things like intention
right.
wise. And it's funny because people are always, I used to be like, that's going to happen. And it would.
And it would.
People were always skeptical of me. So now I'm just quiet and I get people coming to me like, what do you think? And I'm like, are you going to believe me? So I get that
And
from that.
that's funny because I'm not sensitive at all. I would say maybe if we're doing something, and actually, believe it or not, the more and more we're investigating, I'm starting to feel things like when there's a presence. I feel a little bit here and there, or if something's really dark, I might feel like a little sick or lightheaded or something. But other than that, like I really don't. So everything when Joe was going through and like learning that he had this ability, I was definitely a little skeptical, but I knew Joe for a while and I know that he's a very honest person and he's never given me any reason to question anything he's ever said. So it was very confusing to me. And then when he was doing some training with April, we'd even tested some stuff, even doing like a call like this. And I drew some stuff and he was nailing it. It was just it's weird and it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. It's like I am very much just learning this about myself, getting to uncover. It's like an onion. I'm just peeling back little layers of myself, with the more I practice with it. And so, in 6 months, a year from now, who knows where I'll be in that level and in 10 years. So I'm just getting started. So it's interesting, it's awesome, and as sometimes it terrifies me.
Yeah. So I feel like the older I get, the less I'm just throwing things at a wall. I'm more concise with what I do. I keep myself protected and I don't just let anything out there, right? You have to like specifically ask me something and I have to think about it. So Yeah. My grandma was a psychic, so I figured to get passed down to someone.
Yeah,
Well,
very cool.
That's actually something I found out recently, was that my great grandmother was a psychic back
Really?
in Cuba, and I did not know that
Hmm.
until talking to my mom, going about. She's like, "Yeah, your great grandmother was a like very powerful known psychic," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
So I've been actually trying to do a little digging on her, but communist Cuba, you can't, it's tough to
Yeah, it's
find
tough.
a lot of records from back then.
Don't do no Santeria on me.
Nah, that ain't my thing.
Yeah, I just grew up with it, so I've always been into this occult type world. She was always talking about things like when my grandpa died, she'd be like, "Yeah, your grandpa's in the corner," and I'd be like, "That's great." Like, so I don't see him, but I'll feel him. Like, we were very close, but for me, I grew up that way. So I'm into it. I've always been into it.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's awesome. And I'm, and just for any of the guests that are watching, Stephanie has actually done some live investigations with us in multiple different areas. And it's neat how when you're doing a live and somebody's sensitive, they can feel what's going on in the area through the live video feed.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's real, it's possible, and you've experienced some different things in some of the different locations that we've investigated, right?
Yeah, I have, for sure. And I also want to, Joe, maybe as you're honing your skills, you do this too, but I can feel things through text messages. I actually got a chill because somebody sent me a text message about something yesterday, and asked me a question, and I answered the question when she called me, and it was accurate. So I do that as well. So not just feel it.
Like
Yeah, I feel like, what's that?
Like a premonition type of deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So I'm big on premonitions too, but yeah, Mike, to your point, I can feel like when you're in rooms. I'm actually getting a chill right now because when I remember things, I can, my body gets
you start to like
remember it.
Mhm.
So yes, absolutely. When you investigate. So that's why I can't wait to go in person.
Heck yeah, you got to come on down.
Yeah, for sure. So do you recall what the spirit's favorite cookie during a spirit box session was?
Yeah, it was actually an Estes session, and I do remember. Joe, do you remember?
Yeah, it was.
And this was at Hotel Redlands, is that
Hotel
correct?
Redlands.
Yes.
Hotel Redlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, Eric said he's like, I'm getting you oatmeal, and he was like busting chops,
Chocolate.
That was wild. Yeah, it's because we were just trying to stir up, conversation, and we said, actually, it was a spirit box. It was a portal.
It was your portal.
It was your portal before we did the Estes session.
Mike had just built a portal.
You built it.
Yeah, it was like the first one of like the first test runs for the mini portal.
It's all coming back to me because this was a while ago.
Yeah, this is
about a year ago, right?
Almost a year ago, yeah. So, but it's funny because it's like, yeah, we're doing this thing, and Eric's like, all right, does anybody want something from the next room? Or Scotty had come in and was like, oh, there's cookies next door because we had guests with us, it was an event, and it's like, we got cookies next door, and then Eric's like, I'm gonna go get you an oatmeal cookie, and then you hear on the portal, chocolate.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised we remember that, but yeah, that one sticks out.
Okay, that's awesome.
I see it in my brain.
See, I love that. And then, so she was telling me something really scary just recently, that she had, like a spirit was trying to come in and fight her, at this investigation. Do you remember that? She said it might be a little bit long ago, but she had this happen, and she's wondering if either of you felt sick during that investigation too.
So I don't know if I don't think while we were investigating with her, but before Franny and the rest of the guests came up, we actually, Mike, we were doing an TikTok live with Camila. Is that her name? Swamp Witch?
Yeah, Swamp Witch.
Yes. We're doing a TikTok live with her, and it was just Mike and myself, and then her on the thing. All the guests were still doing the presentation downstairs, and I remember the comments of me saying like I was getting sick and I was getting affected in that room as well. I don't
What does that mean when you say sick? Did you feel like vomiting or your
stick to my
throat?
stomach.
Okay.
I have certain, I guess signs to know when there's somebody around.
Mhm.
For me, it's a lot of pressure in my chest. Um, or I'll get a feeling in my stomach, usually when it's something like not too great.
Like a nausea.
I'll get more like a nauseous feeling.
That's why it's like fun to investigate with Joe. He's like my giant REM pod.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is
if I know, but like if something's going on and Joe is smiling like that and he's not like, I'm not feeling good, dude, like I know we're safe. If
Yeah.
Joe starts going like, man, I'm not feeling good, like something, I know something dark is around.
Yeah.
So you don't feel anything necessarily, Mike?
No, I really don't. And I think it's because, to be honest with you, I have so much anxiety and I'm always like, oh, what's going on? And I'm always like thinking about everything. It's hard for me to relax and like get into a state of mind where I can feel something. It's very difficult for me. So I think that has something to do with it. But yeah, I don't like, if Joe, like there's been a couple places where we had multiple people be like, I'm not feeling well, something as dark is here, like, and I'm just like, okay, where? I'm like,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
But
with Joe. I had a podcast when I had a podcast, we were interviewing somebody who'd been at the Cecile Hotel. I think I'm saying that right.
Cecil,
We were talking Cecil, sorry. We were talking about Elisa Lamb, that girl that had died. And
such a
I
crazy story.
actually had to message my host in our little chat forum and say, I have to go. I got really sick, like violently ill. I had to go lay down and I could not finish the episode. That is the only time I've been so ill. But yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, I would say you weren't feeling that great in that room 202
202 or 201
in that room, just so you,
because they're connected.
Yeah, there was supposedly like a woman that fell out of either somehow came out of the window and fell to her death, and it's speculated that
out of the window
that she was pushed, but people say she fell. Like the history there is a little gone, but she did descend out of the window to her death, and she supposedly haunts that room.
And then, I mean, there was also in that hotel, there was also a fire.
Correct. Yeah.
And it killed, I think, 14 people, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it's been a while since we've been there, so my history, I'm trying to. But I remember at one point that night we were doing an Estes session, and you know when I started doing like the Estes or the Delco experiment, I get a lot of visuals. You know, and it's weird because you would think, okay, your eyes are covered, this and that, but I am seeing like vivid through like my mind's eye. And I remember it was like I was trying to like focus, and I was like, all I kept seeing, because I was laying down on a bed, all I kept seeing was smoke just above me, just hovering above me. And like I call it out when I'm seeing all this stuff. Like I'll call out on my stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on one of the videos of it. That I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm
actually
seeing
on
smoke.
my YouTube, I actually have the whole
Right, the whole session.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah.
So there was no apparition. It was just purely
I
smoke.
just I was seeing smoke. I've had other moments that I feel, you know, I'll have like a physical mediumship moment that I start feeling like heat. Like I had a reading I was doing for a class, and I start feeling pain on my arms, radiating up my neck, down my back, and then that pain transfers to heat. And then I start visualizing a fireplace, and then I start seeing like honeycomb shapes. And I'm like, I'm telling this to like this person, and it's like, you know, does this mean anything to you? And the person's like, yeah, my sister and her friends were in a car accident. There was a fire. A friend of ours got burned from the complete right side of his body
Wow.
and had to have multiple skin grafts. and I was feeling that, and it's like the freaking craziest thing. So sometimes I'll feel stuff, and again, I'm starting to get more comfortable in saying stuff because sometimes I'm just like no, this is nuts. Like this is I'm creating this. But now it's just like I'm just if I feel it, if I hear it, if I see it, if
Yeah.
I anything, I'm calling it out. And it might mean something later. There's may not mean something at that time, but later. But yeah, that place, that Hotel Redlands investigation was awesome.
Yeah,
What
and
else?
then actually, if I remember, well, I'll let you go if you have any questions, any other questions, because I think we got like 10 more minutes. It told me on this thing before it. We
I
got
can give you 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so
I
yeah,
go though.
let's go. Let's see what else we got.
Okay. From a scale of 1 to 10, would you rate this how would you rate this location based on haunted activity?
Mike?
Me first.
Yeah.
Okay. I would give it a solid 7. I would say it was. We definitely picked up the couple times we've been, we definitely picked up a good amount of activity. And it's up there. It's up there. I wouldn't say it's a 10, but it's definitely up there. One of the wildest things that happened that we didn't capture on film, which is very disappointing to me, is we were sitting downstairs and we actually had the door that was right next to me on latch and open, and I was talking with Eric and Joe and Franny, and we were just kind of BSing or whatever. And when it opened, I didn't even pay attention to it. I thought it was just somebody, one of the guests or one of our other investigators, just open the door and come in. So I didn't even look at it. And then like 2 seconds later, Eric's like, "Did that door just open?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I heard it open." And then but we didn't capture it on film, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we were actually kind of like almost wrapping up. So we were like talking and just picking up stuff, and then the door was shut, and that happens. We're all just like,
Yeah, it was
what?
wild.
Maybe that was the ghost's plan.
Yeah, he was like, "All right, you
get
guys
out."
are packing up. Here you go. Here's the door. Get the
I
hell
think
out of
they're
here."
pretty meaningful about what they do, honestly. I don't think we give them enough
Absolutely.
credit for that.
No, it's
Yeah, no, for
calculated.
sure. Joe, what would
What
you
would
call it?
rate
What number
Joe?
would
Yeah.
you call it?
I was gonna say about a 7 as well. I would say, because unfortunately the times that I've been there have been for event type of situations. If we had an opportunity to, I mean, when we have the opportunity, to go and just stay there ourselves and invest, like, really investigate, I think that number might change a little bit. Just because we were limited on time. I think, we're able to go into the wee hours of the night while there's absolute silence, just be able to sit and listen and
Yeah.
not have to worry about other people around. It might be a different story.
I'm curious myself and maybe listeners, how do each of you protect yourself so it doesn't follow you home if you do so?
I have go ahead.
To be honest with you, I don't do a whole lot. I have symbolisms that I wear. I have the pendant. This is what they use during exorcisms to keep away evil spirits. I have a tiki mask that I got, and it's to ward away evil spirits. And I try to be polite. I don't try to provoke or anything like that. And thankfully, I haven't had any experience or any attachment that I know of. But I also think that also has to do with that I'm not sensitive and I'm not really prone
That's true.
to that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't do a whole lot. Maybe I should do more. But also the other thing that is kind of like a comfort blanket is the fact that we're on this team of 30 people, and we have so many experienced people that can do cleansings, and that I know I'm like, if anything does happen, I'm like a phone call away, and I got help.
Yeah. Did you do anything, Joe?
I also wear a necklace with the Saint Benedict and also a black tourmaline stone on it. I also have a bracelet with St. Benedict um, medals around it. And then I have like, a little mantra that I'll say to myself going in, ask for protection to my guides to just basically to always, protect me and I surround myself with light and positive energy can only come through and anything negative will expel itself.
And that was I'm sorry, go ahead. It just reminded me of something.
No, but I do the same thing when I close. That's something that we're adamant about. Like we say, when we open up an investigation, kind of like doing a Ouija board, you say hello and thank you for allowing us to communicate. And when we leave, we close it. Thank you again for allowing us to communicate. You gotta stay, we're going, but you gotta stay here. It's like
That's what I was gonna say is I make sure that I do that always. We always greet and open a session, and then when we're leaving the investigation, I make sure that I state firmly, we're gonna be leaving. You do not have permission to follow me or any of our investigators or anybody that's here outside of this building. You remain here. This is where you are, and you do not have permission. And I make sure that I state that.
Yeah.
Yes, I always say no permission. That's big to me too. I was curious.
Yeah.
No permission.
Yeah, like the wildest thing, I know this is kind of unrelated, but it's related to the topic, is like when I said we were doing a Delco experiment and Joe was the subject, and I said, all right, we're leaving. You can't follow any of us home. This is where you're gonna have to stay. We'll come back and visit. And Joe's response was he had the isolation headphones on and the Delco goggles, so he couldn't see and he couldn't hear. And he goes, "That's what I hate about being dead," was his response.
Yeah.
It was
It was a
mind blowing.
conduit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was mind blowing.
That's cool.
The ghost used me.
I like it. That was all.
Okay, great.
All the questions.
So
thank you so much for coming on. It was great surprise.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
it was
need
great
to do another investigation.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll set something up here soon. I know right now with the holidays, it's a little jacked up, but as soon as everything gets a little ironed out, we'll definitely have you back.
Yeah, and I want to go to Florida in I think April. I want to go up there.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Come down. We'll make something happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
Right.
Well, it was good seeing you.
That
was fun. It was.
That was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. I gotta head out now.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
Good to see you.